Kia ora Year 9. This video is going to show you how to solve equations with a variable on both sides, like this one here. So notice the big difference in this one compared to the earlier ones is that I've got x's here and I've also got x's over here. So to solve these we need to remember what we did in the first algebra topic with collecting up like terms. Okay, so if we look at this equation for a minute, we can remember from the first video that equations are like balancing the scales. The equal sign means that the two sides must balance. I'm trying to draw my scales. As you know, if you're in my class, my drawing is not so good. There we go. There's some kind of scale. So on this side, we've got 5 x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. On this side, we've got 3 x's. 1, 2, 3. And we've also got 8. Number 8. So we'll do the 8 as 8 little dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we have to figure out how to make those scales balance. On this slide I'm going to do it with the scales, and on the next slide I'll do it with the algebra to go with it. So what we would like to do is to lift off the x's from this side over here and lift off the same number of x's from this side here. That way we'll keep the scales balancing. So I'm going to try and do that with the magic eraser. Look, there we go. So there's one x disappearing, and the same on the other side. Here goes the next x. Get rid of that one, and get rid of a matching one over here. Third x is going over here, and the third x is going here. So what I've got left now is 2x equals 8. I just want to find out one of those x's. So we can split this in half. On this side, I've got half of the 2 x's is just x, and over here I can split my 8 dots into 2 groups of 4. So now let's take a look at the algebra that goes with this. So we can see here that what we end up getting is 1x balances with 4 of the dots, so we get x equals 4. Right, so looking at how we're going to show that with algebra, we get 5x is 3x plus 8. I want to show my lifting off of the 3x. So we're going to write down 5x, take away 3x, equals 3x plus 8, take away 3x. That leaves me with 2x on this side is the same as 8, because the 3x, take away 3x, has left no x's over here. So 2 lots of x are 8. The opposite of times is divide. Divide both sides by 2. And we get x is equal to 4, which we saw with the scales. Right, now it's your turn to practice. If you need to, rewind the video to go over the last slide where I went through the working. If you're ready, pause the video and write down the equation, and then underneath it do the working. So our first practice equation was 14x equals 36 plus 11x. Our goal is to end up with 1x. So we have 14x over here, we've got 11x here. So we're going to subtract 11x. Subtraction is the opposite of addition, so that's why we're going to choose to do that. So 14x take away 11x equals 36 plus 11x, take away 11x. That gives 3x equals 36. Now I divide both sides by 3. Just make a wee note of that over there, and I get x is equal to 12. Next practice question, 7x is equal to 6x plus 18. I've got 6x here, 7x here. I'm going to subtract the 6x off both sides. I get 7x take away 6x is equal to this. Now on this side, 7x take away 6x is just x. Remember, I've got an invisible number 1 sitting here. 1 times x is just x. So x is equal to 18. 4x is equal to x plus 9. I'm going to subtract this x from both sides. So that's going to lift x off both sides of the scales. 4x take away x is equal to x take away x plus 9. 3x is equal to 9. 3 times x is 9. The opposite of times is divide. X is equal to 3. Now for our last one, which is slightly different. 3x is equal to x take away 70. As usual, I'm going to lift the x off both sides. So I get 3x take away x is equal to x minus 70 minus x. Over here, as usual, I collect up my like terms and I get 2x is the same as, now I've got an x, take away an x, so that's gone, and I'm left with negative 70. Okay, so that's a 0, take away 70. I've got 2 times x, I'm going to undo the 2 times by dividing. I'm left with x is equal to negative 35. The only tricky thing in here that you have to notice is to remember to keep the negative sign with the 70. Okay, this is x take away 70. When I've subtracted the x off this side, I'm left with 0 take away 70, because the x minus this x is just nothing, 0. So 0 minus 70 is negative 70. Okay, that's all for this video, except for the very last, which is to decide if you are still a bright red sad face on this learning objective, and in between, starting to get it but not quite there yet, orange traffic light, medium face, or bright green traffic light, you feel like you could do these questions very easily now. If you are red or orange, talk to me in class about what we can do to move you on to green. Thanks for watching, and as usual, let me know if there's anything you want me to change with how I do them.